time comes, don't postpone it. When others doubt and out, you don't condone it. Truth be told, yourself is your toughest opponent. When your moment comes, grab hold and own it.
I think we did 3 hours for the network and then 2 hours streaming right after the network show. So it was 5 hours of like straight live TV.
I imagine it's a pretty difficult job to do.
You know, you can't get up and go to the bathroom, so.
As a woman in film, I want young girls to know.
The first show was more like a pre-Oscar fun look back at all the great films and the nominees. And then the last half of the show, the carpet opens. And that's when people started showing up. I mean, like the last hours, you're just on the fly. They'll say, we have this celebrity or director. You're also trying to hit your commercial breaks. You can roll on things while you're in a commercial break. So you can like shoot something and then roll it back as if you were live. A lot of shows do that on the red carpet. I mean, red carpet shows are mainly what we call like pre-banked shots. So when the show starts and you're seeing the beautiful like shots of Steven Spielberg walking down, and it seems like, wow, they're getting this all live. Most of the time that was actually pre-taped moments before. And then there's an editor who's quickly on an EVS machine putting a clip reel together. And then you as a director are just rolling a machine back as if it was live cameras shooting. So it is live, but some of it's like you could be using your live cameras or you could be using cameras that caught the shot and we rolled it back as if it was live. There's a lot of that in general on red carpet shows. It's almost like how sports are done, like the replays. Like someone scores a goal and you kind of quickly re-cue it, and so you play it back, except you never saw the goal scored live, but now you're seeing it on tape, if that makes sense. We were not in LA physically. I was actually back in New York. Yeah, I mean, these days, you don't have to be out in a truck. Of course, it's a little better. You can walk out and see your talent before you start. You can get a better feel of what you're dealing with. But this was basically all the cameras coming back to New York where they shoot World News Tonight. And we were in a control room in New York, but our producers were on the ground. So, our producers and our tech crew were there, and you would talk to them from there. But I was physically in New York, so that was interesting.
Lady Gaga's Oscar-nominated song, Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick. And we are showing you that right now because we are getting some breaking news as we speak.
We are just learning that Lady Gaga is in the building.
So how do you decide in the moment what you're going to do? I mean, how much input do you have on, okay, it's commercial, now we're coming back, what should we come in on? Like, do you make that decision?
Yeah. As the director, especially with good producers, they'll allow you to come in any way you want, like show beauty shots, show exteriors, show people at the step and repeat. So that's just all you and your camera folks getting you in and out of break. What the producers mainly are doing is they're just lining up those, what are we going to first? Who's our first interview? Who do we have next? There's bookers on the red carpet that are physically maybe pre-book them and talk to their agents and managers. Others, it's literally like, just grab them. Like just tell your host to grab somebody. So it's a real, it's like the Wild West with the red carpet or the champagne carpet.
Oh my God. Were there any moments where like you expected something to happen, like you thought a celebrity was going to come over and then all of a sudden they got involved in something else, or their publicist or someone said, no, we can't do that, or like any
Yeah. I mean, it happened all day. I think like you were expecting to get, certain people and then they wouldn't show up at a certain time, but it's like a red carpet. So it's so hard. It's so hard to control it. So I think we always say the best stuff actually happens, or the unplanned things. It's when you're doing an interview and then, Joe Pesci comes around and breaks up the interview. And those are the best moments where they're truly on the fly, real, unscripted. So we don't put a lot of pressure on ourselves for those live shows where you don't know where you're going. You just want to be prepared. You want to be ready. You have great camera people that can find great shots of people walking around. And then, great talent who really is, you become your own booker. You're just grabbing who you want, or you'll go run down to go get somebody and bring them over to your station. It's very tight on a red carpet. There's not a lot of room. You get we were an ABC show, so we got, a 10 by 10 space for our main hosts. We had one main area with 1 or 2 cameras. And then we had the step and repeat where you first walk in, where all the press are, and then the audience. And it's literally, I had 2 hosts standing side by side with a microphone and camera, and there's like 30 stations like that from around the world. So it's very tight. It's very tight. It's not so good though that you can sort of see who's coming by because there's only one way to pass.
Okay, so there's a little bit of control in that respect.
Yeah, and then technically I had about 4 robotic cameras overhead, one on the step and the repeat, one on the, we call it the elbow, which is the end of the red carpet. So when you walk the carpet, you hit the elbow and you make your final turn as you head into the theater. That's where our main station was as you made the final turn. So that came in handy because when we were about to go off the air, we finally got, I think our best guests from the the biggest movies that won that night. Like we got the directors and all the actors of the films that actually won. We did have Brendan Fraser. We were hoping to talk to him, and we actually got him, and he was it was amazing. He was always emotional, like before the Oscars, like at the awards when he won, and then when he did actually win. He's just so genuine. And that was the one interview we never cut away or did anything. We just stayed on him. And then the camera people, when you have a good camera person, when you don't even have to tell them to, because it was one camera in this area. It's like one key story, he was getting emotional right away. And he just pushed really in tight. He even started, crying a little bit. So, if you work with people with great instincts, sometimes you just have to sit there and just watch, and you don't have to overdo it. You don't have to overcut, overdirect. But then there are times when there's a lull, you want to put some different things out there. You want to get beautiful shots and arrivals and do the best you can to keep the viewers there and, keep your bosses happy with the numbers at the end of the day.
Right. Is there like a different entrance or exit for bigger celebrities, or is it all kind of people?
No, they all go through. Yeah. I mean, because when you arrive at the red carpet, it's covered now, the arrival area. There's like security there. Everybody that's on that red carpet is obviously not just credential, but they go through, it's like probably going through like the CIA. You're giving a lot of information to get on the carpet, special credentials. You can't really leave the carpet. Even there's only one area to go to the bathroom for people, so you don't leave the immediate area. So it's very tight, but yeah, it's only one way in. It's not like, hey, I'm a big celebrity, I'm gonna go in the back door. Everyone walks that red carpet. I think they want to too. I mean, come on.
Yeah. My only experience of red carpet was years ago. I did a few red carpets where I was the producer for Entertainment Tonight. So I was not on camera, but I was holding the microphone and asking the questions. The first time I did it, I had all these great questions that I wanted to ask, specific questions about the actor, about the location. And, some actors just, they don't respond to that. They just want to, they want you to ask, how are you feeling tonight? So I imagine you have to really be able to listen to what's going on in the interview because you can anticipate whether it's going to go on or whether it's just going to get cut short.
Yeah, I mean, my world of directing, again, is a little more unscripted. I mean, I can do scripted, I think, very well because you know what's going to happen next and you know where your cameras need to shoot exactly. But in the unscripted world, there's, going off question or just ad-libbing what they want to say. So I think you have your greatest chance to present to viewers a nice way of sort of moving through the interviews is just to have different things cued, whether it's video from the film or some pictures. We also do picture-in-picture, and we box the live interview, and then we're showing the film on the other side, or we're showing some behind-the-scenes footage. It's all that storytelling visually that's important because you have to remember a lot of times you could be at a Oscar viewing party and you're in a room where there's music and you're not hearing what they're saying. So actually it becomes more important to present, the visual, because a lot of people do watch TV with the volume off half the time. So, I think that's a big part of it, especially now when you watch shows, everybody's very mindful of we have to visually sell what's happening so that just always pretend that you're directing something nobody can hear. And so if you think about it that way, red carpet interviews, while they're obviously really interesting and the celebrities are there, a lot of times we're always doing side-by-sides with them. Now, if you get the person of the night and the best actors and stuff, you don't really want to cut away from that too much because that in itself is that's what you're there for, to talk to them. And those are your big gets.
There's like always moments where you're watching, and if you're attuned to it, you're like, oh yeah, this is a live show. Like you see a little bit of an elbow, or like somebody steps into a frame. I mean, do you remember any of those moments?
That actually does happen a lot. Like you're coming back from break, and the producers run in to go give notes and stuff, and we're counting back, and the producers are still huddled around. We're down to 5, 4, 3, and then they start scurrying away, and there's still one producer sitting there just not knowing where to go, and it looked like a mistake too, because then she realized and ran off. Where I was like, oh, just stand there, it's fine. But you are standing next to other productions, so we were catching a lot of people shooting, but that's all a part of it. It's not going to be clean. Things that do happen. Prompter went down a couple times, and the talent's reading, and then if you're really closely watching, you can kind of tell that they can tell that it's not rolling anymore, and then they start trying to figure out where they are to go. You only ad-lib the interviews, but the ins and outs are always scripted. So if that prompter goes down, it does throw some talent. But our talent were great on that. They didn't really miss a beat. But, those things happen all the time. And you get in their ear and just be like, go, go, go. Or,
wow.
Just throw to the pack. You try to remind them the package they're throwing to or something.
Did you ever lose your composure?
When the room is just getting loud, people are talking. It's like that left ear, right ear. I mean, you're listening to 3 different things. I have ADs that are counting me. I have a stage manager asking a question while I'm still directing, someone in the back row. And so, as a director, you're multitasking your listening skills. You have to be able to listen to the show while it's happening and react to it, give your cues and just focus. I just tell people, look, sometimes it's not perfect. I mean, live TV can get messy, but if you have all your fallbacks in place, where can I go if a tape doesn't roll or it freezes? I'm just going to cut back here to the talent. And I think if you just go in with a good solid plan and you let your crew know that you have their back, you'll come out just fine.
When your time comes, don't postpone it. When others down and out, you don't condone it. Truth be told, yourself is your toughest opponent. When your moment comes, grab hold and own it. Never let go, stand tall and hold tight. Overcoming obstacles is the objective in life. Doubters all the night, and unto them you shine bright.